Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. In our last episode, we got our first Vrauk going. It has been completed, so we have one now. It is our first of many, but I guess only 4 for now is what we're planning on making. So we'll get the rest of these going. What am I missing? Oh, it's not missing anything. It was at 0% and I was like, it hasn't started yet. I think we've got everything we need for the last 3 Vrauks here. And then I was able to get some more titanium here, so we should be able to craft the old reproductive complex. And I believe... oh yeah, we also need a slaughterhouse. Slaughter house. And then I will need some microorganism mines. I'll probably make 2 of those. Need some more small parts. So yeah, this is gonna be a good episode. We might, could we get our first Pi Science 1 in this episode? Is that possible? Is it possible? Is it Pi-sible? Small parts, please, and thank you. I also seem to be missing something else important because I can't craft basically any buildings. What am I missing? Glass. Those all require glass. And then we're also missing circuit boards. All right. Where are those at? Down here. Oh, it'll be so nice when we can get all this consolidated someday. Someday. Sweet. I can handcraft it? Oh, okay. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I can handcraft a Vrauk from a caged Vrauk because I can handcraft a cage. I guess I actually should craft a couple. Because we will need to render Vrauks at some point for the formic acid for the pYanodon's science. But anyway, yeah, back to that. What do we need to do here? So I need moss, sap, flora, and water for the Vrauk reproductive process. Okay. So moss, sap's over there. I mean, sap we can make anywhere. Sap is literally just electricity. So that's nice. Flora's over here. I could route some down. So I guess I could... well, the problem is I don't have the room here. Do you see how big this thing is? It is absolutely monstrous. Oh man, these things are huge. The worst part is sometimes you need multiples. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I need to get stone brick over here. I can feel how slow we're walking. I think it's 22 by 22 units. That's nuts. All right, so we'll get these guys going. It doesn't work until we provide it with, obviously, the 2 Vrauks needed to produce cocoons. I should finish Greg Tech. You're not the first person to say that, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. Alright, so let me grab some stone brick and we'll lay some brick. We also need to get another Patreon name in the Zen Garden. I'm really excited for Pi Science 1 because we will unlock the floor tiles, and I'm going to do some decoration with the limestone tiles and the asphalt, and we're going to put like a yin-yang symbol in the Zen Garden where we put Patreon supporters' names. So I've got a fun plan for that. But for now, we just have stone brick, which is where? Right here. I was so close, yet so far. Alright, let's place some stone brick here. Get the rest of our circuit build. covered. We'll go out to like here for now. I don't need the whole Vrauk build to be covered necessarily. There is something very calming about placing tile. I guess it's the color by number type feeling you got when you were a kid, you know? Coloring book. Alright, that's a little better. Now, what are we doing? We need the other Vrauk. We should have the second one by now, maybe. How long do these take? 6 minutes per Vrauk. Wait, is that right? No. Really? 400-second crafting time. Yeah, that's 6 minutes per Vrauk. Jeez. So we still have another minute to go on that one. So what else do we need? We need the flora. We need water, which should already be over here somewhere. And moss. Moss is tricky. We can make moss from water alone, but stone makes it better. I could bring this stone down and make some more moss over here. But oh, and we need coke for the CO2 for moss. Let's see. Let me make a few moss farms. Alright. There's our Vrauk the second. It's completed. Alright, let's get a Patreon name going while we're over on this side of the base. And yes, we will make it look more like a garden over time. Don't you worry. Alright, who's lucky number 4? Lucky number 4 is, drumroll please, Glam! Alright. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, this is where we'll put a yin yang symbol in here with the different tiles, and we'll get power over here and get some lights going. It'll be and then I think I also have the water fill mod, so we'll put some. We can put a couple little ponds, maybe place some trees. It'll be great. All right, so our first. Vrauks. We need the barrels. Didn't I handcraft some barrels? Am I making that up? Where did I... No, I didn't handcraft them. I automated them over by steel. That's what I did. Which is up here. Yeah, there's the barrels. Alright, so I'll grab a stack of barrels. We've already got coke down here. So I should be able to... Oh, this is perfect. We should be able to make some CO2 over here into some moss. I don't even know. We'll just go right here, I guess. I'm getting the non-stone version. And then... I guess I need some feeder moss. And then what is it? High pressure furnaces? That make the CO2? 16. I have no idea what those need because there's no modules in them. What do you guys need? 60. No. Whoops. 5. And I think those go faster even than this recipe. Yeah, because they need 100 every 80 seconds. These only need 100 every 100 seconds. So that should be good to go. Just one of these bad boys. I could have also just piped over the CO2. I guess it is right there. I actually kind of like that better. Let's try to be a bit more centralized in our CO2 production. So we'll pipe it over. Try not to put too many things through the middle of my circuit build. I'll pipe it from here. Bada bing, bada boom. And then... What's up, Triangle? The circuits are almost here? What do you mean by that? We already have circuits. Alright, and then Muddy Sludge needs a soil extractor and a washer. Out of iron. Yeah, we got circuits a couple episodes ago now. We are working towards PyScience 1 to get electric miners is the current goal. Alright, washer. Oh, I already have one. I do need pipes though. And we have so much science, I think it's worth another inventory size research. It's pretty expensive at 750, but every 5 slots is 5 more things I can randomly place in my inventory and not worry about it. So that's pretty nice. Alright, and then the washer for the muddy sludge. And then the water. Let's see, soil extractor. What are the rates on these like? 2 versus 2.5? It's pretty close. Alright, then we need some water here, which is right over there. I don't think... Yeah, we can't clear this building, unfortunately. Tar processors are the biggest of boys. Well, they're actually not the biggest. The biggest is frickin' reproductive complexes. As we already measured, 22 tiles across. Yeah, I was worried this might happen. Okay, so that calls for a pump. Like so. 5 slots is 10% less anxiety. Exactly. Oh, man. So yeah, if you got a Pi game started and the beaker latex chain is so big it's dumb. Yes, welcome to pYanodon's. Where everything sucks and you're gonna struggle forever. But it's fun. Alright, that should be moss. Let me go get some feeder. What is it? How many module slots do these have? 20? I think that's 20. No, 15. I need 60. 60 moss. Alright. That started, and then get the output going, and there we go. There's moss. What else do we need? Water barrels. Water is an interesting beast. I need a barreling machine, and let's Let's put water barrels on the belt with moss because neither of them spoil. So that makes it relatively easy. Now, I don't mind deleting the contents with the AFH bug on this one because it's not a very big network because it starts at the pump. I mean, it wouldn't really matter because water fills up really fast, right? We've got 3 offshore pumps, so it'll fill up in like 10 seconds. All right, so anyway, that's good. So now we're barreling water. Those need to be on the close side. These need to be powered up. There we go. That gets us, what, 20 a minute? Should be plenty. And then that gets us everything but flora that we need. Sweet. Okay, so then we're gonna have some interesting things going on. I'm guessing we're gonna do some circuitry for this. I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna do yet. For now, we need to start with just making some cocoons. So that's right here. And that'll get us moss and that, and then flora, oh, and sap. Sappy, sappy, sap. Let's get some sap trees, which need soil, which unfortunately I don't have. Should be able to grab some from this guy. Oh, right, this is here. I don't know how many sap extractors I need, but I'm gonna say 4 is enough for now. Grab sap trees. By the way, why is this? Oh, this is just that slow. Okay. This is still running fine. It just takes 5 ever. Also, what's up, J7? Welcome, welcome. TNT, there is no mixed fuel system as far as I know, but Factorio 2.0, with the way the fluids work, allows us to set up... Uh-oh, I need to bring that radar down a little bit. It allows us to set up stuff like this, where we pump different fuels into the same network, and basically that works fine now because of the ability that buildings have to actually empty out a pipe network now is... perfect. I'll put perfect in quotes. Oh, my tea. It's not quite perfect, but in the sense that it now will fully empty out a network after a few seconds, whereas before there would be little bits of fluid that might get stuck in some random corner, like 0.1 water or syngas or whatever. But now the whole pipe network is treated as one, like, inventory. So because of that, you know, basically the glassworks and stuff will soak up all the syngas, and then now there's no syngas in the network, which will allow this pump, which is trying to pump gasoline in, will start working. So you can kind of do mixed in that way. I don't know if it's quite like a mixed fuel, because you can't distribute it all over the base that way. But it's at least in the category. Oh, here's our jazz music. Let me pause Spotify for a moment. It's not very loud. That building's turned down, but yeah, there you go. Jazz music. Beautiful. Okay, so anyway, we need flora over here. So let me make a couple more flora miners. Probably in alien life. Yeah, flora collectors. And then the speed of this is slow. We're talking 2.5 a minute. Is that really it? No. The Vrauks need to go in there. 7.5 a minute. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so we'll grab some flora from down here, from down under. Power attached. Are we getting dinos? No dinosaurs for a while. Those don't come until we need Nexalit, which is a ways away. But we are getting scary, giant insect creatures. So there's that. Alright, I know there's going to be spoilage issues, but that's 3 hours down the road, so I'm not going to worry about it. No, indeed I'm not. These need flora too, so I can just do something simple like this. Alright, that should get us going on Vrauk cocoons. We need to get rid of the empty barrels. Let's do this. Uh-oh. Where is empty barrel? How is it not the first one or the last one? That seems problematic. Or is it actually called empty? It is called empty barrel. Okay. I kind of like that, because then you can search for empty instead of having to, you know, search through the giant page of barrels. Alright, and then the Vrauk cocoons we'll put over here. In a chest for now. And that should do it. Here we go. First Vrauk cocoon's getting made. You think native flora smart farms should come much, much earlier? Really? That's 12 million. It's not gonna go that fast. I mean, even if the whole patch is covered and we're using, let's say, 15 a second, how long does 15 a second take to get to 12 million? 222 hours, so it's not gonna get eaten very fast. And that's if I was consuming an entire belt. And this is on the default richness, by the way. The old settings for Pi, basically, this was a frustration I actually had with pYanodon's for a long time, is they didn't have a good default settings for like ore generation and stuff. And now they have one that is, it's not perfect, but it's certainly better than it used to be. And the richness is cranked up to 500% for pretty much everything by default. So that's kind of the norm now. Hey, we got some Vrauk cocoons. So now what we do, what's the way that we do this? Should I, because if I split it, you can also have a loop going. I could do a sushi belt because the rates on these are so small. Maybe I just do a big sushi belt. Not a bad idea. Huh. Let's see. What are we talking here? Actual Vrauk production needed is going to be about this. Total rates here are combining to 0.6. Call that 1.15. I mean 2. Yeah, I mean we're talking less than 3 items a second total for everything. Everything. So that would all fit. The reason I wanted to check is if you're doing a sushi belt, you need to be really careful about lanes, right? And in this case, I could literally use 1 lane of a yellow belt and still have more than enough. So sushi actually seems like the way to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, now there is a slight problem with sushi is delay of items, but we'll figure that out. Because things don't get spread out very well. But yeah, I'm literally gonna put the barrels back on the same sushi belt. Oh, I guess if... It's kind of weird. I guess I don't need... Everything's different with sushi. I should filter off empty barrels. Because otherwise, you know, they'll just sometimes make it past the inserter, and that's kind of pointless. But yeah, I think this is fine. I could have a mixer, you know, to space out items from time to time. I don't know how necessary that is. But I kind of like the idea of sushiing everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up. And then we'll feed in a certain amount of flora based on the belt. This is also kind of hilariously pointless. That goes there. And then this goes there. So the flora will be enable disabled. This will be read hold. Flora is less than, yeah, let's put 40 on the belt. And then these are gonna put 40 moss on the belt. We can tailor the numbers as desired. I probably should have a mixer somewhere. The problem with a mixer is it splits. Oh no, a single mixer actually doesn't. You can have one. It doesn't actually split the belt reading, because it's still connected front and back. But yeah, something like this will help with, I guess what it does do though is it puts more items on the belt than necessary, but it should be okay, right? As long as, I mean, we'll do input priority left just in case of issues. But are there any other good overhauls in 2.0? I mean, some of them are being adapted to 2.0, but I don't know if any of them are like ready for it. All right, and we'll just put Vrauks on the same belt. Sushi belt. Sushi is king. Sushi is life. I think Factorio is going to be updated for 2.0. And I don't know if you're saying 2.0 or Space Age specifically, because those are different things. Yeah, it's possible I need to read this belt too. So the items on this belt get counted towards the totals. Might not be that big of a deal. We'll let it balance out for a minute and see what happens. But yeah, we should get Vrauks over here. Without too much trouble. I don't even know what to do with them. I'll just put them in a chest for now, I guess. And sap. Right. Completely forgot about that. Did I even check how much sap we need? I don't think so. right, those make 12 a minute. These need 4.5 a minute. All right. Perfect. Oh, wait. We screwed that up. We can't just have... Right. Do you know how to do a sushi belt with splitters, no wires required, and perfect spacing? I mean, I could attempt it. But no. The easiest way... Definitely too much flora on here. What's the easiest way to do what we're trying to do here? Because we want to filter pulling stuff off, but then that messes with the whole belt reading. I guess a couple ways to do it would be to just connect. Okay, let's do this. Copy that over here. And then we'll just do our filter splitters in a row. Like this. This will be empty barrel. This will be Vrauk. And then we can just connect these guys. Read all belts, read all belts. So now we've got this section, and this section, which does go back to here. And then we just connect that to the same line that everything else is hooked up to. And then we don't even need this one, actually. I guess if I want to, we might as well read this too. Yeah, I mean, sushi's a little messy, you know. I guess I could put the mixer closer by or whatever, but... I mean, that's fine. Alright, so I think we're reading properly now. Looks like it. And then barrels need to be thrown back in. Oops. I actually didn't want full barrels in there. I'll put the full barrels in there. Okay. I believe that works. These don't need sap. I am going to need 2 reproductive complexes eventually. According to this rate. So that means I'm going to move these even further down. Which feels ridiculous, but it is the way of things. And then do that. What's up, Dave? Yeah, we got splitters. You know it. We also have sushi. All right, we got lots of cocoons. All right, let me go grab the other 2 Vrauks that we made, and we can begin the actually raising Vrauks process, which should be pretty good for... I just did that to get rid of the blinking up here. You guys wouldn't believe, maybe some of you would, because maybe some of you are the ones that have left the comments, but you wouldn't believe how many comments I get complaining that I leave a research up there that's been completed and it's flashing. Like, the amount of complaints I get is through the roof. It's so funny. Like, I don't even notice it. I don't care. And other people are like, oh my god, how could you possibly do that? You're a sociopath who murders babies. You know, I mean, it's maybe not quite that extreme, but those are the vibes that I get. All right, we're definitely gonna need more total barrels on the loop. But yeah, we'll put 1 Vrauk in each. Have the best shot at this, and then I mean, the cocoons just go right on the belt. No reason to measure that. The barrels always go on the belt. The cocoons are limited. So this needs to be a filter with cocoons. Did you guys know you could do that? I just did that for the first time in my life. You can pipette on a recipe and it grabs the item. So that's pretty neat. Anyway, that is going to be measured to only work if Vrauks cocoon is less than, I don't know, 80? What's the actual number of things? You know, like, we should have the correct ratios here. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then less than 1 on water barrel moss. And this is more moss than native flora. This is more native flora than moss. These are gonna... I mean, I guess I should look at these numbers. Like, the combined numbers. So the combined flora is 0.6-ish. The combined moss is 0.6-ish. The combined cocoons is about half that, and the combined water is about half that. So we could do 1, 1, half, half. Okay. So for moss, let's do 80. And then for cocoons, let's do 80. And then for what's happening here? Oh, the barrel feeder. Never put that there. And then for flora, let's do 160. Wait, what am I doing? No, cocoons are 40. Flora is 80. And then barrels. Well, barrels are weird. I guess this is kind of interesting. Hold on. Barrels are kind of weird. We should limit them. I don't want too many barrels on here. So water barrel less than 40. Okay. And we'll see, you know, after this runs for an hour, we'll see where the like the item density kind of shakes out to be. Yeah, the pipetting everything everywhere is so nice. It really is. All right, well, this will be here eventually. These two will be on that one. I feel like this is more elegant than putting sap on a belt. What do you guys think? This just feels better to me. Like, why would I not do this? I feel like it's pointless to put sap on a belt at this point. Because it's the only place it's needed. It's more than enough. I don't know. That just feels easier. I'm not going to put it on a belt. All right, and then we need to copy this sort of setup to this one. I mean, I guess they can go on this spot. It feels a little wasteful to have them go all the way around. Yeah, I'd rather have it... I'd rather have it here because then it gets to the spacer sooner. And the spacer is helpful for keeping things properly spaced. So this, by putting it on the return belt rather than the outgoing belt, we have the overall belt spaced out sooner relative to the whole process. So I think that's a little better. And then we need one feeding it. All right. Oh, flora can spoil. Okay, that's going to create problems in multiple places. So problem one is that puts flora spolenen as a possible trash item from everything on this belt. So we need to get flora spolenen output. These are just outputting everything, so that's not a problem. And then, yes, I do need to filter out the flora spolenen, or, I mean, rather than filter it, I could just grab it off the belt with filter inserters just to keep it clean. You know, for now. Until we have a better solution, this is fine. Alright. Get some light going. I might actually increase my lamp radius even further than it already is. It's already like almost doubled over vanilla, but I might still go even farther. All right, hey, this is running. Look at this. We got Vrauks production happening. Does it make one at a time? No, it makes two at a time. Beautiful. Yeah, Kyran, this is not a finished solution, so I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But yeah, this whole belt will spoil, and that will be a problem. Basically, I need to belt read this belt and keep it limited to a certain amount of sushi. I guess I could do this. No, I'll fix it all at once, because we're gonna do something different later. I'm just getting that first 50 pie science. That's all we're doing here. And speaking of, how many actual Vrauks do I need for that? We need only 25 Vrauks. That's it. That is it. So let's start working on the other steps then. Because that's... I mean, we're going to want to put the Vrauks back into here so that we can spin it up faster, but that's not going to take that long. So... And let's get rid of all of our other random things here. Moss. Random flora in my inventory. Random ash, random logs. Random coke. Random lime. Random biocrud. Alright. What tech are we using the 50 pi for? We are doing... electric mining drill. Because we're almost out of copper and iron and stone, and I don't want to have to deal with taking fuel to these patches and ash from these patches, because the stone's way out here. So just having one belt that comes back without having to deal with like the ash and fuel is a big deal. So that's why we're rushing 50 packs and kind of ignoring automating a lot of it for now. Because that one research is like heads and tails better than anything else we can do right now. All right, what am I doing? Let's actually look at the plan. So a slaughterhouse. I mean, let's start with the final thing. Let's get a research center crafted. And then that used like all my resources. So I need some more stuff. Do I need aluminum? I don't need aluminum. Grab some of these, grab some more small parts. Air cores, I do need a few more. Like to have 200 belts, definitely need some. Take 500. I'm gonna ignore AFH for now, and then I'm gonna grab some duralumin. Get a little bit more. I don't think I'm gonna need a ton for these last few buildings. I have a lot of stone brick here that I don't actually need to have in my inventory. And then I needed glass? No, I have glass. Iron. Iron's what I need. I love that sound. It's so satisfying now. And then I'll go grab more titanium. I'm excited to use oil sand. For whatever reason, that's one of my favorite resources in the game. I can't explain it. Ugh, I needed fuel, apparently. Alright, there's a decent amount of titanium. Might actually be enough for me to get all the way done with this tech. Because what do we need titanium for anything in here? I don't think we do. No, these are all very, very raw resources, apart from the petri dishes. Most of what you need for science is biological. It's really interesting. Like, you need fuel. Stone is a raw resource, you know, but moss, flora, sap, seaweed, limestone, water, water barrels, wood, those are all just water. You know what I mean? Like, I guess technically there's some coke included in the moss, and there's some potentially some stone included in the moss, but there's already stone there, and there's some ash included in the wood, and that's glass, and the diesel is just fuel, and the yeah, it's Pi1 is purely biological. I don't think I ever realized that before. Apart from the stone and limestone, which are sort of biological in a way. Hand feeding furnaces like I'm Mike Hendricks. Yes, that is what I'm doing apparently. Yeah, and like, I know that, Trippy, that they were mostly biological, but I don't think I ever realized it's like basically 100% biological. Like, you don't need any metals at all in any form. And the only non-biological things you're using are like stone and a petri dish. Everything else is very biological. And the coal, and those are just fueling those two things. So that doesn't really count. So we are going to need a lot of cellulose, eh? Alright, well, we'll deal with that later. Yeah, I need to bring more fuel the next time I come back here. Alright, we'll call that good enough. What do I have? 218. I should probably grab more fuel now, unfortunately, because it's gonna, you know, I could make the second one of those. That's probably not worth it. Let's grab, you still haven't finished the Vrauks? Are you kidding me? How long does this take? We're looking at 11 times slower. That's 33 minutes. Holy cow. Holy Vrauk. That's a 33-minute timer right now. Alright. That'll take a while. But when it's done, I'll have 4 more Vrauk. Oh, you know what? I could speed it up. I could double the time. Or, well, double the speed. Half the time by doing this. I guess it's not doubling. That's only 50%. I should probably do it like this. So then that one finishes quite a bit sooner. Get rid of the car, otherwise I'll forget it. And what was I even doing? I was crafting substrate. Let's work on the substrate. So I need 300 substrate. So all we need is microorganism mines, a bunch of petri dishes, and then wood and limestone. Okay, we can do that. I need some high pressure furnaces near the wood and limestone, which is just wood and water. So these two can make cellulose. Because we got wood right there. And then we're gonna need the microorganism mines to make these incubated petri dishes. Now those spoil in like half a second, so we have to have everything else ready. Wait, what am I doing? No, cellulose plus these. We have something like this. And then the substrate. I'll just have the moss ready. I don't know. We'll do something like this. And we'll just put the moss on a belt. We go grab a bunch. How much am I gonna need? 150 is it? Take 300. Double or nothing. Okay, so there's moss. We'll just throw some logs in there. Fuel them. And then we need limestone. So a soil extractor. Am I gonna regret bootstrapping it this way instead of automating it properly? I'm not sure yet if this is actually a good idea or a bad idea. Because I'm wasting time in the sense that I am gonna have to set this up the right way. But I'm also saving time in that by doing this, I'll be able to set up things better. But then, am I gonna do the whole if you give a mouse a cookie thing, where I'm like, well, since I already have all the things I need to get py1 science, maybe I'll do another science. You know, like, what other sciences are there that are really early on? That might be super useful. Like, raw coal to coke could be super useful. That's another 50 packs. Steel furnaces, not so much. Or gas furnaces. Oh, right. Those consume fluid fuel. We're not going to do that. Warehousing and burners are also only 50. So those... that could be worth... some time as well. Crawdad. It'll be a long time before we see one of those. It doesn't seem like there's too much craziness that would like completely change everything. It could be worth going for warehousing as well. Yeah, the crusher does unlock the like stage 1 raw coal stuff that allows you to get crushed coal. That's powerful, but that's not gonna change how I like rebuild any of this stuff mostly and get to the point where I've py1 automated. So I do think it could be nice to get the burner and the warehousing. Can I make burners? I can. It's titanium, but I can make that. And then the warehouses I can make. So it could be worth doing like 100 or 150 packs. We'll see how easy this ends up becoming. Actually manage all this. Because that's... oh, the game was paused. I was like, how have we not gotten any limestone yet? That's because the game was paused. Alright, so the cellulose is going to spoil. Petri dishes are going to spoil. Back into a petri dish, though, which is kind of nice. At least they don't delete the petri dish part. Or the agar. I mean, they could totally, you know, pie hard mode, you know, incoming, but they could totally be like, oh, it decays into a dirty petri dish, and then you have to send it through a cleaner building to clean out the petri dish, and then refill it with agar. Like, they could totally make you do all that. They were surprisingly kind. Anyway, microorganism mines need to be ready to go. The timing of this is kind of weird. Like, it makes 0.1 and these make 0.05, but we need them at a ratio that isn't 2:1, so that's not exactly the same. So there's some figuring out I will have to do at some point with all this, but for now, we're just gonna get it to a functioning state. Let me get some more copper here. And I need to grab the Petri dishes. I need to grab... Whoa, I do not want 3,200 copper. Thank you very much. I don't even want that much. I do need to grab more Petri dishes. Yeah, Kickout is pretty rough. I remember... We actually got to Kickout towards the end of my last season. It is not easy. All right. So you get 200 Petri dishes. There we go. Where did the rest go? Shouldn't I have some extras? I do. There we go. All right. Is it 1 per science? 1.2 per science, apparently. Out of logs now. All right. So this is good to go. I just need the wood on this belt. Oh, ash. Shouldn't surprise me. You know what would be so cool? Okay, hear me out. It would never work in the game engine, you know, this is a Factorio 2 type feature. Not 2.0, but 2. Would be belt decorating. Like, what if we could somehow have it so that... Like I want this to look like an ash belt, even when there's no ash on it. You know, and like, how would I do that? And I'm thinking like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you like can color the rails, you know, and the supports and stuff. Like, what if we could color parts of the belt? You know, not the main yellow bits, you know, that show you that it's a tier 1 belt, but the other parts. Like, what if there was like a splash of color along the sides here that you could paint on different belts, and you know, it would also paint part of the undergroundy. That could be pretty neat. All right, just do this, and this, and that, and then we have wood. And cellulose is going. I know we're gonna get spoiled biocrud in there, but that's a 10-minute thing. Yeah, it looks like ash has worked its way into the cracks of the belt. Exactly. Alright, well, once the cellulose is running, I should be able to fill these. And we're good to go. What's the recipe time on this? 3.5 seconds, so 7. No, these are full 1 speed, so that will be 3.5 seconds. But we need 3 cellulose in there first. Uh-oh. I just realized we're gonna have a problem. That's gonna spoil before the second one gets made. Oh, jokes. That's really funny. So I need both of these going into 1 assembler. That is crazy talk. And then both will come at the same time. It'll start a recipe, and then we'll be good to go. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some craziness to get this all to work properly without any decay. Actually, maybe not. Maybe this is all we'll have to do, is just direct feed into 1 assembler. And we only run these buildings if we both have a need for substrate and this has no incubated petri dishes in it. Or really, I mean, I guess if we run out of those, we could have issues, but we could always just recycle the petri dishes back around if we end up not using them, which won't be a problem if we already have too much substrate anyway. I guess it would make an infinite loop that wastes power if we're out of moss and we need substrate. it's gonna keep running the incubation process and we're gonna waste power, but that's not that big of a deal. I don't know if it's worth saving that power. There's that part of me that's like, I never want things to spoil, but given that it's just a direct cycle back to the ingredient, it might not be that big of a deal. Anyway, we've got substrate. I meant to put a chest here. There we go. Yeah, the cellulose is gonna spoil at some point, but for now it's working fine. And that's too little amount of cellulose. We actually don't have enough cellulose now. This needs to be there. This needs to be right there. Alright, well this monstrosity should basically give me some biocrud and substrate when I feed it petri dishes. Petri dishes don't spoil. It's only the incubated ones that spoil back into petri dishes. So it's pretty nice, you know, you can just loop them back if they spoil. But the thing that's not nice, I think we talked about this. The decay time is 45 seconds, but the recipe time is 20 seconds, which means literally they're already half spoiled as soon as they come out. I guess my original strategy would have worked. I did the math wrong. They come out with 25 seconds left, the next one is already being crafted, and then the second one would get direct inserted right when this one's about to spoil, and then the recipe's good to go because the result isn't spoilable. So you actually could do 1-to-1, one microorganism mine to one burner assembler. It doesn't need to be two at the same time. Though, this is, see, I'm out of moss now because I screwed this up. And now we're gonna get those spoiled, which is fine, just put them back in. Grow some more microorganisms. What is this thing doing anyway? What? I don't understand how this building works. It's drilling to grow petri dishes? I don't totally get it. Maybe it's just putting some dirt in petri dishes and seeing what happens. Maybe that's what's going on there? I don't know. Dyson Sphere program has a process where you can put a small icon on top of a belt that lets you know what the goal of the lane is. Yeah, that sort of thing is kind of what I'm getting at. I need to grab some more fuel for the titanium area, so let's do that real quick. Back to our giant piles of coke over here. Oops. Wow, that's a lot of damage. How much? These only have 100 health. Seaweed farms are not robust, apparently. How many pie runs have I done? Well, this is season 3, so 3. No, that's not true. I've done, before I was a content creator, I would say, 1.5 times I played pie before being a content creator. Way back in the day, before Alien Life existed, I did play pie all the way to red circuits. And then there was another pie attempt somewhere in there that didn't get as far. And then, other than that, all of my pie play has been on stream in the 3 seasons. And season 1 is different in that it did not have alternative energy. It was before that mod existed. So pie is significantly different now than it was in season 1. So I have, and this is true of anyone who's been playing pie throughout the years, but it's like my brain has different categories of like how things work, because Alien Life changed all sorts of stuff, but my brain still sort of remembers some of the way things worked before Alien Life, and then alternative energy also changed a lot of things, so My pie knowledge is sometimes very wrong because of those memories. Alright, I don't know why I'm doing titanium. We don't need more. I just wanted to make sure the mines were running. But yeah, okay, let's check on the belt here. How's it looking? Looking pretty good. Things are spaced out. I feel like things are spaced out nicely in a way that... I mean, we can double check. But when a recipe finishes, I think it will have... I mean, it definitely will have enough time to get the ingredients filled now because of how slow it is. But even when it's going full speed, I think it'll have more than enough time to get the 15 flora that it needs. And it's already, right, it's inserting, it's preemptively grabbing 2 recipes worth. So it has more than enough time. More than enough time. The problem is going to be that means we have extra flora spoilage. So what I could do is... we could set up... Yeah, that's going to be a problem. You know, multiplied by 8 Vrauk pins, that's 240 flora that's just sitting. That we don't really want to be sitting there. One thing that I could do is just reduce it down. I could have one inserter. I mean, this is the simplest version. Is we'd have one inserter that's blacklist on flora for everything else. And then we have another inserter that's whitelist on flora, but it's wired up. And it only inserts if flora is less than 15. And then we read contents. And we do not include... Oh! We could also include the contents in crafting, but then it won't start inserting the flora until the previous recipe's done, so we don't want that. We do want it to grab 15 to have waiting in the wings, so that as soon as this Vrauk's done, the next one starts crafting. But that's like the simplest way to do it. I think I will do that. It'll... it will save me a bit of hassle. And I could do the same for the reproductive complex here. Seems like we already have enough cocoons for now. That makes sense. We won't need more for a bit. 27 hours into Pyrun. Have I just started? Yeah, I mean, basically. It's crazy how 27 hours is still like I mean, I don't even have electric mining drills yet, you know? It's really crazy how this works. Okay, so anyway, the research center, I don't know, we can plop it wherever. Let's put it over here. We're gonna need a bunch of this substrate. Look at that, I already have a ton. This is going swimmingly. So the only other thing I need is glassware. The only other thing, he says. So we need a DDC creamy latex, which is sap and limestone, which is... So I need some more sap trees, which means I need more soil to craft those. Let me grab more petri dishes. And then grab some soil. I don't know how many I need. I'll do 2 for now. Maybe 4. 4 buildings worth, that is. Yeah, to Ronin, that's reasonable. Pi is gonna have to revisit every single building because you didn't used to be able to attach wires to buildings. Right? That's a new thing. So every single Pi building, you know, has not defined where the circuit connection goes because that's new for Factorio 2.0. So it makes sense that that's not done yet. I hope it gets done at some point. It's not the fun kind of work, but it is the kind of polish work that I always hope mod creators do. Sometimes, you know, there are some mod creators out there who would certainly answer it like, well, that's not something I ever plan to do. But I think Pi has enough people working on it, and it also has enough people who are willing to work on it that they could do a pull request for that, and somebody will do it eventually, and do it, you know, do it on GitHub, and they'll accept the GitHub whatever, and it'll happen. Because yeah, it doesn't look that good. Have it just randomly connect in the middle. Okay, what was I doing? Greetings, also, Bo Fixnix. Welcome, welcome. We are needing to make a couple more sap trees. And I was going to do creamy latex, which also involves a soil extractor. We make a few more high pressure furnaces. Let me just pin this because my brain can't hold it. So we need basically the rubber stoppers is what I'm focusing on right now. So high pressure furnace. I need steam. Maybe this coke here. E for steam. This is such a mess. And then the water. And then ash. All right. I do have circuits. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing having circuits. All right, so that's that. So there's steam. Do we need it in multiple places? No, we don't. Latex. Latex just gets crafted into rubber stoppers, and rubber stoppers need to go to a glassworks, so we'll pick those up manually for now. So yeah, for now we'll just do this. Latex, rubber stoppers. Actually needs coal. Like that is an ingredient. I forgot about that. So frustrating. Because we don't have any coal right now. It only shows up in the midst of our tar processing. So we're gonna have to steal some for now. Now you can turn wood into coal, which might end up... what's the number we need? 0.25? That's probably what I'll end up doing then. For now I'll just yoink a bunch. From here. I guess that's not as much as I hoped it would be. Here we can fill a few slots in a chest. And then, what else do we need? The creamy latex and the sodium alginate. The sodium alginate is stone, limestone, and seaweed. And then the creamy latex is limestone and sap. We need quite a lot of limestone for this. Where am I? I keep getting lost in this base. This is going to be a problem. So the latex is cooked here. We need the latex slab from the DDC. And this one needs the creamy latex, which comes from a washer. I need to craft. Oh, we're an hour and 14 minutes into this video already? What is going on? pYanodon's is such a freaking time warp. I swear we just started this episode. Okay, sap extractor. For now, I'm just gonna put it in a chest just because I don't actually think the rate is gonna be fast enough. So I want to stockpile it a bit. And then okay, sap, limestone. And then limestone also goes into the thing cooking the sodium alginate, which is this guy. And then we also need water for that, which go this way. And then we need a soil extractor for limestone. Okay. I mean, we got there, I guess. Mostly. Ah. Of course. Where's a good place for a pump? Here? Sure. Alright, so that's done. Power this up. Slam down a lamp or two. And baby, you got a stew going. Alright, I think we will need to feed stone and seaweed in manually. That one's good to go. Okay, that's automated. Let me go grab stone and lime and seaweed. And then I think the only thing we'll be missing at that point is how much stone are we talking, by the way? 250, so 5 each. Okay. That should be enough for now. The only thing we'll be missing is the formic acid, which is what we get when we render a Vrauk in the slaughterhouse, which we actually could already do. I have the slaughterhouse. The only thing stopping me is that I want the Vrauk reproduction to keep making more Vrauks, so we can spin this process up. But we're getting there. We've already got 4 more here, which finishes out, not quite finishes out this building. So we should see Vrauks picking up here in the next half hour or so, and then we can start rendering them for the formic acid, which will mean we can make our first pyscience. We're actually gonna do it. Sweet. I'll probably end up making 150. This is actually pretty easy, what we're doing. There was one last thing I was gonna do before I finish the episode, and I already forgot what it was. Seaweed. That's what. Seaweed is over here. Seaweed. I guess we're not putting it in a chest, and I should. Already have a bunch in a chest, though. Seaweed, I need 11 each, so it is a higher number. There's some more petri dishes. This is actually still running for a long time. We have 118 more on the way. That's just a slow process because the steam is slow. Oh, I can't wait for better ways to make steam. It's gonna be great. And then these go in here, make more substrate. I've already got enough for my 50. And then I'll feed the seaweed over here. And that gets us sodium alginate. We've already got creamy latex. That goes over here. And then that goes in here. We need to feed coal in, and that will do it. We officially have rubber stoppers done, minus the Vrauk rendering. So we're almost there. Cool. We're going to call that an episode for the future YouTube recording purposes. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next episode.